Don't forget, you're to blame for that.
Now that I have Omega clearance, we can grab Hephaestus and finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging Thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once. I should go get this to Gaia.
Of course. Let us know when we're needed.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. Have you met our new Quen guest yet?
I could barely keep up as she gave herself a tour of the base. Varl gave her a new focus. Though when he told her she was free to access all the data we had here, she turned so pale, I thought she'd faint on the spot. I showed her to the archive room so she could see for herself. She hasn't left the place since.
Sounds like Alba. Read anything interesting lately?
I found out the old ones use leaf infusions like the Utaru do. Tea, they call it. Apparently it helped soothe them. That and some sort of scented wax they used to cleanse their aura. Plus something called bubble baths. Me, I think I'll stick to singing to calm the nerves.
How are things with everyone?
Slightly quieter. Aaron's been busy scouring data on his newest obsession. Apparently the old ones wrestled machines as some kind of performance. Called it metal versus meat. A must-see battle between steel and flesh, as Aaron likes to put it. You'd think we have enough of that going around as it is.
How to go with the chorus after we fix the land gods?
Yes, true.
They were shocked when I told them that our lands would soon be on the mend. I thought Fane's eyes would pop out of his head.
We read this, actually.
But of course they had no choice but to take it as good news, even if it meant all their preaching about meekly accepting our doom was exposed as rot. To be honest, I found the conversation to be highly enjoyable.
I'm glad. You deserve it. They're lucky that you never gave up on saving them. I need to get going.
Right. You've retrieved the Omega clearance. That means we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. I'll make sure my gear's ready.
Oh, Alva. You are exactly what this room needed, man. This room is so, like, so full, but not alive. You know, like, all this stuff. Like, look at all this parchment that she's gonna... Dude, that guy, like, she's gonna report to is gonna have such a... He's gonna have such a friggin' ball, dude. Like, imagine the reports he's gonna get. They have all this knowledge. They have like 10 million billion files of every like minute science topic in this whole world, in the universe. You wouldn't believe what they have. Like, they have this and that and fruits and all this stuff. And he's gonna be like, what the hell, Jesus Christ.
Right to work, I see.
There's just so much. I mean, we knew of artificial beings that served the ancestors, but Gaia? Oh, she's amazing! And you, a true reincarnation of an ancestor. Genetically speaking, of course, not like the, late CO. And there's more ancestors out there, returned from beyond the stars. Of course, they're trying to kill us, which is not great. And Eric Visser is with them, which is disturbing. And then there's Hephaestus, and...
Okay. How about we take it one step at a time?
You're right. I also owe you an explanation for everything that happened at Landfall.
The Quen. Let's get this to get out of the way, Jesus.
You said you owed me an explanation for what happened in Thebes. I'm listening.
Yes, please.
Right. I'll start at the beginning with the CO. He was an Imperial, the Emperor's nephew, in fact. As such, he sponsored many diviners to search the legacy for anything that might help the tribe, and himself. He took a special interest in anything related to Ted Faro, whom we consider the greatest of the ancestors.
Ted Faro, revered ancestor. That's tough to take.
I know better now, of course. Anyway, the diviners discovered that Faro spent a great deal of time in San Francisco. In fact, many of the most important ancestors did. So the Emperor's nephew convinced him that an expedition across the ocean might solve our most pressing problems. If only we could find the right data in this fabled city. Perhaps we could roll back the floods and storms that threatened our people. The Emperor declared that all the tribe's resources be poured into this endeavor. Dozens of ships were built, scouting missions were dispatched, and the Emperor's nephew was named Sio, one who wields the legacy for the good of the Empire, the living embodiment of Ted Faro, a renewer. It may seem strange now, but for a time, he carried all of our hopes. We really believed he would save us. We had no idea just how perilous the journey would be.
You said the expedition across the sea was more dangerous than you thought it would be. What happened?
We lost most of our ships to hurricanes, and scores of soldiers perished to hunger and disease. And that was before we even hit the coast. Once we landed, machines ripped our patrols apart, and we struggled to replenish our rations. There were bright spots, to be sure. We found thieves and the greenhouse, but nothing improved the CEO's mood as his dreams of saving the tribe were slowly dashed. He became more and more obsessed with Thebes and what lay behind its door, and more convinced that the title of CEO was no mere honorific. You heard him, spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's essence and some kind of becoming. We knew these weren't the words of a sane man, but he was quick to put any who spoke out in front of a firing squad.
Oh, well, at least they were all
Guy.
know about it.
The Quen are wrong about many things when it comes to the legacy. I can see that now. But what the CO became was a complete perversion of what principal diviners stand for. The pursuit of truth. I'm sorry you had to endure his madness. I'm just glad it's over. For everyone.
So, Bohai, your overseer. Will he run things better than CEO?
He won't execute people on a whim, if that's what you mean. But he's hardly a paragon of integrity. I can't tell you how many times he took credit for data in the legacy that I
Yeah, it
uncovered.
seems like that type.
The best thing I can say about him is that he can be trusted to always do what's best for him.
Yep, sounds about right. Back at the greenhouse, you spoke of knowledge forbidden to your people.
Diviners are meant to seek out the truth in the legacy, and many Imperials sponsor them in the hopes they'll find something the Empire can put to use, thus gaining favor with the Emperor. But the Board of Overseers claims certain truths are detrimental to the stability of the Empire, like discovering one of our revered ancestors ended the world. That is why diviners are only allowed to access segments of the legacy. Only overseers can view it all. It ensures that any heretical data can be contained and retrieved before it can spread.
What happens to diviners who break the rules?
I never had the courage to ask.
The ancestors, is that what your people call the old ones?
Yes and no. The ancestors are the greatest of the old ones. Those whose legacy taught us agriculture, medicine, warfare, leadership, and patronage of the science and arts.
The CEO called Elizabeth Sobek an assistant. What's that about?
Right. Well, any old one who has made minor contributions or worked extensively under one of the ancestors is called an assistant. That's how we thought of Sobek, until we met you. Our limited access to data past the late 2040s has obviously misinformed our view of the past.
Yep. And you go home and you tell your whole tribe that. Thank you very much. We don't need any misinformation going around anymore. You tell them the truth, and it's going to shatter their whole mindset of their, you know, their beliefs and stuff. But you know, they'll turn out better for it. There might be a riot or two, you know, but it's necessary.
You mentioned the reason you came here was to help your family. Your sister...
Her name is Alika. Our parents are commoners. Peasants, really. When I passed the divination exams, they were so proud. It brought honor to our family and increased rations. Only Alika begged me not to leave for the research academy.
Why? What happens there?
Alika knew that once you enter, you're not allowed to leave or see anyone, not even your family. Unless you can get special permission and an escort by an overseer.
Sounds harsh.
Like the focuses we keep, diviners are few in number, and the Empire is, well, fearful that outsiders will try to steal our knowledge. Last time I was allowed to see my family was just before our voyage here. Because of my position, I was able to get them refuge from the floods within the capital. But if our crops don't recover soon, they'll starve to death along with everyone else.
I promise I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't come to that.
I mean, they just need land guards like the Utaru, like the plowhorns or whatever, right? To sow farms and stuff.
You mentioned Eric Visser? How do you know about him?
The Zenith who tried to kill you? He is known to the Quen as the Protector. Combing through data related to his work led us to breakthroughs related to weapons and military tactics. Knowledge our rulers used to conquer and expand, to become the empire we are today. That's why he's one of our most revered ancestors. But based on your encounter with him, it appears he's even more ruthless than we ever imagined. Yet another distorted interpretation in the legacy.
Well, at least you're piecing together the truth.
If only the overseers back home would do the same.
Beta mentioned other Zeniths. Tilda, Verbena, and Gerard.
I'm afraid I don't know anything about them. Whatever legacy they left behind, the diviners haven't recovered.
I see you've been using your new focus.
It's been fascinating.
She's so
much
giddy,
better than
man.
the version the Quen have? What would have taken me years to sort through, like the database you helped me recover? With this, I've been able to establish search parameters to speed up the process. This could revolutionize how diviners analyze the legacy. That is, whatever part of it the overseers would actually let us study.
You wanted data, you'll find lots of it here.
A diviner has never had this sort of unsupervised access to archives such as this. And knowing you, I suspect there is much that would normally be forbidden held within them. But I was sent here to help you. I would be remiss to ignore any truth laid before me. Maybe it'll help the Quen find their way back to the path of truth.
I imagine you don't know anyone here that well yet, but they're a good group.
It's funny because one of your friends is, well, another you. Not that you are the same person at all. I mean, you are, as in, you're both genetically Elizabeth Sobek, but even so, you're different.
Yeah, we are.
What about the rest, man? Comment on someone.
I hope everyone's been treating you okay.
Let's see how she feels.
Yeah, of course. They've all been extremely welcoming. And they share the knowledge they learn on their focuses with each other freely. It's refreshing. Back home, diviners can only share data with the permission from the overseers.
Sounds restrictive.
Yeah, oh my god, tell me about it. You have to go through a friggin' process just to speak and discuss. Oh my god, no thank you.
I need to get going, but if you need anything...
All I need is to help you succeed in your mission. The plan Gaia told me about, to capture Hephaestus, it will help set things right.
Oh, she actually went up to meet her. That's
Then
sick.
I will do whatever I can. I promise.
Okay, there's still nothing in this room, right? That we have any use for? There was something. Oh, open door. Okay. I was gonna say there was something that I could interact with, but it was only the door. All right. So we got Gaia. We want to go see Beta first. Nope. Why is this closed? Why is the server room closed? Is it because I have to go to Gaia first? What the hell?
But stars can also be sun.
It does seem crazy, isn't it? Like from like that stars are suns, shit like that. Like those crazy things that it's like it's hard to prove, or like you see, you know, it's not like seeing is believing.
Drones are reconnected to the dome now.
That's so far. You just have to go and believe like that it makes sense. The more you understand, the more like, you know, like the more science you understand, the more things that like more knowledge you understand, the more it's like, hey, well, it's never 100% certain, but you put all the knowledge together and it's like, well, it's so likely that it's almost impossible not to be the case. What the hell is this? Oh, is this Katali's arm? Oh my god, if this is Katali's arm, this is actually going to be so sick.
I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new
A
problem.
new problem? Oh
Did
boy.
something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus itself. It has accelerated its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your sub-functions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct. But the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my current estimate is that the merge will take 35 hours.
And each hour increases the risk of detection by the Zeniths. Two cores. Two overrides. What if the merge were carried out by two clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of two operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.
Oh my god, way less than half. Holy shit.
Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse generators ready?
Only a final test remains. I am confident that, if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the zeniths.
Good. As long as Aaron can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here.
Oh my
Beta's in
god.
bad shape.
Dude.
Okay.
Aloy's getting hit now with all this baggage, man. Extra problems, solve that. Beta's in bad shape.
Aloy. I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think anything will convince her to go.
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you.
What is she doing?
Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone. In a cell again. Their slave. Forever.
Man, I don't know how to do this. I kind of want to do this, to be honest. This feels like the direction that it would go. Like, find your courage. She needs determination, but I also want to do this as well. So I'm curious to see what they both are.
The only way we can end the risk of that happening is by stopping the Zeniths for good. And in order to do that, we have to get Hephaestus. The Zeniths are a threat to everyone, Beta, not just you. So find your courage. That's easy for you to say. You still have no idea what they're capable of. I told you from the beginning, we'll never beat them. It's hopeless. Beta. Leave me alone! You don't understand! You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't. I look through all the data from your focus. You were raised as an outcast, shunned, and isolated just like me, so what's the difference? What's my defect?
Rust.
Beta. You don't have a defect. Beta. Look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth. The difference is, I had him. Frost. He raised you, trained you, but he was never warm or loving. The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough. What did it feel like? It was like having the strength that was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad. But it looks impossible. Look deeper. And then fight like you can win.
Man, this is really cool.
You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You're right. I'll only be safe from them when we succeed. But you have to promise me one thing. Yes, of course. If it goes bad, if the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand? Okay. Promise? I promise. I could Use as much time as you can give me to study up on the merge, to make it as efficient as possible. I'll be ready when you are. I swear.
We're gonna put her up in some jacked up armor, dude. Give her some weapons. That would be mad. Hopefully she doesn't come out in this this lab clothing.
Whenever you are ready, come speak to me and I'll ask the others to make final preparations for the mission.
Not just yet, dude. This seems like a next stream kind of thing. So we might
Nothing. You just look good. That's all.
Get
we
back to
might
studying.
do some cool side quests, stuff like that.
Hey, we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. You good with the plan?
I've already got the location of my assigned cauldron.
Good.
I heard you and Beta had a talk.
News travels fast.
Well, you're in the
It wasn't
same
exactly a quiet
building.
conversation.
There were just things that needed to be said.
A healthy crop to those who clear the weeds between them, as the Utaru say.
You look like you have something on your mind.
We're going to war soon. And war is something I promised myself I'd left behind in the Red Raids. But the more of your data I go through, every voice I hear, every word I read from our ancient past, it makes me realize just how much life was given so that ours could flourish. Fighting for that gift, it's our responsibility. If we fail, it was all for naught.
Helps to know you're not alone.
For a moment there, you sounded like Varl.
I don't know what you're talking about. I should...
As soon as you intend to leave for Gemini,
You'll hear about it.
Oh, look at this.
Well, now I know where metal flowers come from. A last-ditch effort to stop the Pharaoh plague.
Huh.
Demeter must have started distributing them after it took refuge in the greenhouse.
I see. So that's how it worked. That's how, like, that's what happened.
Aloy, everything okay with you and Beta? It sounded like you guys had a, lively conversation.
We just had a lot to talk about.
Does this mean she's coming with us to Gemini?
It does. I hope you're ready to rein in the most stubborn AI of all time.
That's what all this was for, wasn't it?
Hephaestus won't go down quietly.
Hephaestus is just a program that's lost its way. We are fighting for our survival. I can always call upon the goddess if you're nervous.
Funny. You were right, you know, about keeping Rost's memories buried. I guess part of me thought he was holding me back, because he wanted me to be a Nora. But the truth is, he gave me a lot. And I took him for granted.
He was a good man. He raised you well.
I still want to know more about Ross's past. Like, there was a quote in the first game where he says, "Some reaped honor before disgrace," or something like that, right? And it's basically the time when he sends Aloy through the gates to fight something claw. It was one of the like the big like feline like machines, right? Yeah, and he like nods at the guards and they open, and it's like suggests that he had like an honorable past. He probably done something really good, and he exiled himself. That was like as the matriarchs have said, it was his choice.
I hope firing off those pulse generators will be enough to distract the Zeniths.
It'll work. It has to.
Always optimistic, huh?
Nah, just stubborn. It's a good quality to have when dealing with you.
Yeah, right.
He's not wrong, dude.
Any last findings you want to share before leaving?
Not really. Though I've reached a decision.
Oh?
When we put Gaia together, I want to return to the Nora. Spread what I've learned.
Yes, exactly what I
Think they'll
want.
listen to you?
In time, I believe so.
If anyone can make it happen, it's you, Varl. What will you and Zoe do if you go back to the Embrace?
I hope she'll come with me. At least for a while. And I'll go with her to Plainsong too. She'll probably want to talk to her people about all this as well. We'll figure it out.
I know you will. How does everyone seem to you?
Anxious, but ready. I heard Katalo ask for Alva's help with his pulse generator. And I know he's been helping her with a few fighting techniques.
Oh
just in
shit.
case.
Nice. Let's go.
I need it.
Like I said,
Good shit.
just in case.
Good shit, Katalo. And good shit, Alva,
I'm
man,
glad you're coming
for
with me, Varl.
You sure there's no
wanting
urge
to
to
learn
run
it.
off alone in there somewhere?
No more running.
I like it, man. No more. I love how, like, at the start of the game, it was really, like, pushed on us that she was a loner. She was, like, you know, it's like all this solitude around her, right? And now she's actually, you know, leaving Val behind and saying, oh, only I can do this and all that stuff. And now she's actually, you know, she's accepting help, and she knows now that she can't really do anything without help, right? She can't, like, for this plan to work, you know, the Xenos have come in, she needs, you can't do it alone. Yeah, and she's really not that, like, she's very, very special, but she really, her capabilities are basically to go through locked doors. Like, the focus she has has got nothing to do with her genetics. You know, like, a lot of the stuff that she's done, you know, getting to these places, fighting machines, you know, all this knowledge, like another person can do as well. Yeah, they just needed a focus, they needed combat, you know, like, they need an open mind, you know, like, stuff like that. You know, like, any one of these guys could have done what Aloy could do, except the parts where they were locked from the doors, right? I do think Aloy is, like, obviously a lot better than them in terms of, like, you know, combat ability, you know, maybe even combat intelligence, intelligence with machines, you know, like fitness, traversal, and all that sort of stuff. Like, you know, she's probably a level above, you know, all of them. But, you know, Katalo isn't very, you know, I feel like Katalo isn't far off in terms of, you know, combat experience. Same as Val. Val is, you know, he was a brave for a long time. He was under his sister and all that stuff. Zoe, like, fought in the wars, the Red Raids. She led a regiment or whatever. Erend is literally like captain of the guard. You know, like, I don't think Erend had the open-mindedness to do what Aloy did with all the focuses and all the cauldrons and all that sort of shit. Val and Zoe both would have been too up in their tribes to really understand what's going on. They would have, you know, they would have seen it through the lens of their own religion, right? Their own beliefs. Same as Katalo, even with the Tenarchs. But I think the Tenarchs would have been a little bit more open, a little bit. But yeah, the Quen definitely had the most open-mindedness with their technology. You know, their affinity for the technology and for the knowledge of the old world.
Hey, I thought I'd check in before leaving for Gemini.
Are you sure we shouldn't be checking up on you? Whatever went on between you and Beta sounded intense. Not that I'm judging. Forge knows all the screws flew loose every time Mercer and I fought.
I think we'll be fine from now on.
I'm glad to hear it.
After we get Hephaestus, we'll be taking the fight to the Zeniths. So, no more reading.
It wasn't that bad. Not really. Besides, going through all that data helped me realize something. You know, the soldiers, the ones that fought the Pharaoh machines so Gaia could be built, they were fighting a battle that couldn't be won. Not with all the weapons in the world. I think most of them realized that, whether anyone said it or not. They still did it, though. They bought time for all the eggheads working to save the future. Our future. As long as I can do that for you, I'll consider myself a success.
Thank you, Erend. I'm glad you're with me.
Okay, enough. I'm gonna get emotional.
Anybody take you up on that ale you brought yet?
Zoe can't stand the smell of it. I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking a break means. And I'm not putting Varl anywhere near that stuff after that victory party in Meridian.
What about Catalo?
Ah, now there's a man that can hold his liquor. Pretty sure we downed half a keg. We had a good chat, I think.
Oh, I love the relationships between them, man.
That same here. I got a date with a cauldron to prepare for.
Alright, where's Catolo? Before we head out, which, oh yeah, she's got a side quest, that's right.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just studying the pulse generator schematics. The ones Gaia and Beta built. The craftsmanship is remarkable. Is everything all right? It sounded like there was an issue with Beta and the mission.
Not anymore. We just needed to talk some things through.
To understand one another is to embrace truth. Oh, and if you have a moment, there's something I could use your help with.
You mentioned there was some...
Yes. So, as I was sifting through data from the greenhouse, I found references to an old world system back in the Great Delta. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it decades ago. A sprawling network of river gates and a labyrinth of underground tunnels. The legacy revealed that the old ones used it to control flooding. But we've never gotten it to work. The whole thing is shut down. But the data from the greenhouse mentions the research facility where Leviathan was created. It's in San Francisco.
Another Pharaoh facility?
No. Leviathan was a project by Eileen Sasaki, another ancestor. So the legacy tells us, anyway, if we can acquire that data, we might be able to fix the system back in the Great Delta. Every year, my sister gets terrified when the long rains begin. With Leviathan, maybe she won't have to be.
Okay. So, where in San Francisco is this facility?
That's the thing. The data doesn't say where, exactly. But one of our diviners has been exploring the ruins. He might know. Would you come with me? I have a feeling that wherever this facility is, well, you're much better at fighting machines than I am.
Of course. I'll let you know when I'm in landfall.
Thank you, Aloy.
Interesting, man. Leviathan, dude. Oh, man, it sounds like we're gonna... I'm regressing to my Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough versus Leviathan, and the second time I versed Leviathan in Final Fantasy IV, well, the second time I versed Leviathan in my gaming career or whatever, life, Final Fantasy XIV, where we only versed him once. So far anyway, in The Realm Reborn. So there's two different Leviathans that just trigger me whenever I hear that word. Not in a PTSD way either, just in a cool, like, fight kind of way. Zenith.
Must be strange to think that some of the ancestors your tribe reveres are still alive. And here on Earth, right now.
Yeah, it is. Part of me's curious to know who else besides Eric Visser might be among them. Maybe Nikita Arand? We call her the Spark. The legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old ones. Or Sung Jiao, whom we call the Healer. It is said she found new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespans. But my curiosity fades when I think of how different our view of Visser was compared to the reality that you experienced. Perhaps it is better not to know.
Yeah. But you think, like, one person is more ruthless, but his thing was military tactics and, you know, and all that sort of stuff. and warfare. So being ruthless is like an extension of that same topic, just an exaggeration, right? So you'd think a healer, like obviously they could still be like bad or they can still be an asshole or whatever, but you'd think a healer or someone who provided energy to the world would be like a better person, a good person. And if they are an extreme version of that same kind of field, maybe they heal, like if an extension or exaggeration of a person who likes warfare and stuff is like being ruthless and all that, then what's the same thing for a healer? What's the same thing for someone who brought energy? What's the direct parallel there? Is the healer like someone who's like really spiritual or overly religious, or do they have some sort of god complex, because they're like immortal? Do they have some sort of like, I don't know, no worries for time, no stress for time because they've got all the time in the world, things like that. Like, I think because of what they've done is more inherently like good. I feel like if you were to meet them in real life, the reality wouldn't be as disappointing. Maybe they're a little bit more of a nutcase, or a little bit more of like, crazy, or a little less sane, or something like that. But I mean, who knows? They could actually all just be more crazy than you think. But
Any more data catch your eye?
that's what I
All
think.
of it? I have so much to study up on. Years, actually. I'm particularly interested in the Odyssey. We knew the ancestors had made it to the moon. In fact, we theorized some of them had settled on it. But Sirius is way farther than that. And we thought journeying across the ocean would be the feat of a lifetime. The sheer calculations needed for space travel. It's overwhelming to think about.
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this stuff.
Yes,
Right,
agreed.
Grant? Everyone thought that stars were sparks that rose from a fire lit by the goddess to guide us through the night.
Yeah, the Nora are probably one of the most unknowledgeable. I don't know how to really say it. They're probably the least knowledgeable about, because they not only fear the old world stuff, but they forbid it. So they've restricted themselves so much to the point where it's basically saying learning about technology, advancing yourself, learning about the old world, like knowledge and all that stuff. It's like, it's forbidden, and not only is it forbidden, but is avoided. So they're literally like stifling their own advancements and stifling their own progress, not only as a tribe, but as human beings, with knowledge and like it goes beyond technology. It goes, into healing. It goes into, building structures, agriculture, stuff like that, to benefit. Understanding about the machines, for example, as well. Protecting yourself, protecting your village. So I feel like the Nora are, by far, like, they're already below other tribes in terms of, like, old world knowledge. And compared to the Quen, like, the Quen are probably, like, the Nora might even see the Quen as, like, some sort of futuristic, like, futuristic race. Because of how much they know.
Have you spoken with Zoe at all?
A little bit, but I did hear her singing with Varl not too long ago. I don't think they noticed. Zoe seemed so free when she did it. Like every emotion she had was taking flight in song, and she looked happier because of it. I felt so dull and nervous in comparison.
You should ask Zoe to teach you sometime. About Utaru music.
Maybe.
It is beautiful, man. The Atari music. I mean, when we had the override code in that side quest with the land guards, and like they were all singing and shit, like a chorus, it was great.
Before heading out to the cauldrons.
You have nothing to worry about. Gaia's explained your plan in detail, as expected from such an efficient AI. I've even received some very succinct combat advice from Kotallo. You know, in case the Zeniths show up.
What kind of advice?
He, told me to run.
For now. We'll even the odds soon enough.
Oh man, oh Katala, what are you doing? The poor dude. I actually thought he actually taught us some stuff. I guess the Farzidas, I guess, makes sense, man. But like, damn, I was hoping there would be like some cool martial arts shit that he would tell him. But oh well, that's funny.
Go. Make sure you talk to Gaia if you have any questions about the pulse generators.
May your path lead to truth.
And like I said, I'll let you know when I'm in landfall. We'll find the data you're after.
I appreciate it.
Okay, no one's left to talk to except Beta, perhaps. Oh no, Katalo, what am I doing? I'm a freaking fool.
Aloy, are you well?
Had a bit of an issue with Beta. It's better now, though.
Ah, I'm not surprised.
Really? Why not?
I once knew a warrior who discovered he had a brother late in life. It was deeply uncomfortable for him.
Did he ever get over it?
In time. But not before the two siblings nearly killed each other in a single combat challenge.
Ah. Well, at least I avoided that. Think you're ready to put all your training to the test?
I am Tenakth. I am always ready.
You nervous about the mission ahead?
If I live, it will be in victory. If I die, it will be in battle. What matters most is that you achieve your objective.
I'll do my best. I should go get ready.
What a G, man. God,
Await your orders.
he's my favorite, man. If it's not clear enough, he's my favorite. Val is, Val is cool, like a cool bro. Zoe's like, interesting. Aaron is also a cool bro, but I don't know, man. Who's next? Like, I find her very interesting as well. I find Alva. What's her name? Yeah, Alva. I find Alva interesting.
Have a drink, Alva, he says. I'm studying the legacy. How is ale going to help?
Take a break, you fool. I think my next favorite is probably Val. Like, Val like keeps everything together, He's like, if I were to say the whole group, I guess it would. I mean, obviously there's no like hierarchy here at all. But I would say he's like second in command because although Kotallo is like with the warfare, and all that, and he's got combat experience and stuff. Like, so when it comes to wartime, he's like takes over. He's like the general. But I feel like Val is like.
Number 10 on top of a table.
I feel like Val keeps the group together. He's good friends with Eren. They they mess around. And then he's, close with Zoe, and he can keep like any tensions between them two, can't dissipate them, I guess. And he's good with Beta as well, So I feel like he's got leadership qualities. So I think that's really cool. Who we got next? We got to visit Beta maybe if we can. The archives. I don't think there's really going to be anything to speak about.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
I am. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
You said you spent years studying in a training Was this art?
But only the parts I was permitted.
Aristotle would assign me learning modules that before Ted Faro purged
I read this.
Venus have a copy.
So it still exists.
Only what was deemed pertinent to the mission.
If I requested information outside of my parameters, might have all that knowledge.
A little.
All I was ever told was that a natural disaster forced them to leave. I've speculated that it was an extrasolar object, or maybe even an abnormally violent corrode. Did the Zeniths tell you any I said the only first. Guess they survived all day. So it was speculation, but
The only logical conclusion why Gaia suddenly self-destructed. Gaia would have action if it had detected a threat to life on Earth. That was more. I should have realized. Recreation of Elizabeth.
Her plan almost. If I hadn't stumbled. So how goes studying?
Gaia and I have added a function that will display a holographic interface to visualize the data stream from Hephaestus. It should make expunging its malicious code a little more efficient.
That's great. Whatever we can do to cut down the merge time is going to increase our chance of success. Good work.
I'll continue to search for other ways to speed up the process. But whenever you're ready, I am too.
Alva's joined us. Have you two had a chance to talk?
She told me she's not allowed to access a lot of the data her people have. Similar to the restrictions I had in my training interface. I told her that if we succeed at Gemini, then once we return, I'll help her search for more ways to help her family. Even though Gaia will fix the biosphere, it'll take time for farmlands to fully recover. So, I want to help speed things up.
How so?
Bioengineering of more resilient plant strains, novel crop production methods, equipment upgrades. Something that might help in the short term.
I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
Good work, Beta, coming through.
So when you talk to the others, are you calling them over the focus?
No, they'll come down here to visit. Like Erend. He's funny. But loud. I wish I could show him the media portal and the data channel. I think he would like the sports hollows. There was one where two people would criticize each other before wrestling to see who was stronger. It was bizarre and violent, but I think Erend would enjoy it.
Yeah, you're right. I bet he would. So when you
no. I wish
Okay.
There was what criticized.
That's kind of
Well,
cute.
you're
Because we only heard about Val so far. What about Zoe, man? Come on, Zoe. Like,
talk to you later, babe.
Bye, Aloy.
I thought Zoe would be like the mother of the group and kind of try and console Beta a little bit more since she's the only other woman, which, you know, doesn't really mean much, but, you know, it can help, you know, like, I think it's more difficult. I think it's easier to approach someone of the same, you know, gender, and they seem approachable. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's weird. Okay. We've done that. We've handed in the thing for Gaia. Oh.
All this time I've been so focused on what Elizabeth was like, what she would do. I was wrong to hold Beta to that standard. I probably shouldn't even be doing it to myself. I'll try to do better. So much of who I am is because of Rost. Even now, he's still teaching me. And he'd probably scold me for taking so long to learn the lesson.
What the hell is this? What the? It's like some sort of eye or something. Anyway, I want to do Katala's mission, man, straight away. Talk to Gaia. No, thank you. Let's do Katala's mission. Go to meeting place. Oh my god, this is gonna be the greatest thing of all time. Jesus, how far do you want to go? Dear Lord. Okay.
Chill air's prickling my lungs. This is where Kotalo wanted us to test out his new arm. Not sure what he's planning. I should let him know I'm around.
Oh my god, I can't wait for this, man.
Hey, Kotallo. I'm by the Tremor Tusk site, where we agreed to meet. Want to test that new arm of yours?
I'll be there shortly. Thank you for waiting.
Maybe now you can tell me what we're doing here?
Not just yet. Follow me, please.
Oh, I love it, dude. I love how he's so sly, dude. He's such a sneaky one, dude.
Someone's being awfully mysterious.
Yeah.
You took your sweet time telling me what you wanted to do to the bulwark. Consider this my revenge.
Fair enough.
My revenge. Consider this my revenge. Oh my god, it sounds like he's like Darth Maul, dude. At last we will have our revenge.
What am I looking at?
Oh my god.
Come.
Is he gonna move the fucking boulder? Oh, this is gonna be sick. Are you serious, bro?
Alright, talk to me, Kotallo.
I wish to test the arm on that.
Oh, machines, okay. I thought he was gonna fucking move the boulder, dude.
It's the valley for some time. Killed more than a few of the Sky Clan. But no longer.
I'm honored to help.
Oh shit! Look at it, man. Oh fuck! And you can move it. Oh, sick! It's got like a razor blade. It's got like a shoulder pad. Tanax. Oh, this is fucking
Let's
sick!
see how this thing likes the taste of metal.
Oh, that's fucking mad, dude.
Much damage from fire.
Oh my god, look at that. Ooh. God damn you. Hell yeah. Oh, he fucking goes in the guts of it. It's better than I imagined. Oh, he brings out the heart. He's a fucking beast, man. Oh, I love it.
Well, I think it's safe to say the new arm works fine.
It's even stronger than his normal arm, dude. You just tore it up, dude.
Then why are you taking it off?
This is what I am now.
No, are you kidding me?
overcame. Anything else feels...
Oh, no, Kotallo, man. Don't take it off.
I'll use the new arm when I need it.
Okay, that's good
The
enough.
rest of the time, I will simply be
Okay.
myself.
I wouldn't
Man.
have it any other way.
You have my thanks for doing this with me. Here. Something to mark our victory.
Thank you. I'll see you later then.
The 10 be with you, Aloy.
Oh, okay. At least he's gonna use it like when he needs to, like when it's when he's like probably when he's out for combat or when he's fighting.
Send this to my stash.
Now, where are those ears? I'll ping them off somewhere. There's no way over there. No, surely not. They didn't go over there. Yeah, they didn't go over here. It's just something different. Man, it kind of sucks that he won't wear it on all the time, man. I understand the emotional and the kind of even spiritual like side of it, but man, except like I guess it's good to have acceptance in that way, but it's just so fucking cool.